Welcome. Welcome everyone to today's deep dive. We are so incredibly thrilled you're here with us today.
Oh my gosh, yes. Welcome. The energy is definitely high today. Haha. It is always such a joy to sit down and unpack these big ideas with you.
It really, really is. We're going to have such a fantastic time today. But okay, before we get into the heavy psychological insights, I have a deeply, deeply embarrassing confession to make.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. It just happened this morning, actually, and it honestly perfectly sets up everything we're going to talk about today.
I am so ready for this. Please tell me what you did.
Okay, so picture this, right? It's a gorgeous morning. The sun is shining. There's a nice little breeze.
Sounds lovely.
Right. I'm walking down the sidewalk to get my morning coffee. But am I looking at the trees?
Probably not.
Am I enjoying the breeze? Absolutely not. I am staring intensely down at my phone, like aggressively scrolling through my banking app.
Oh, no. I can already see exactly where this is going.
Yes, you totally can. Because, my brain is just entirely absorbed in this, digital simulation of the future. I'm completely stressed out about a future account balance.
Right. Yeah.
And because of that, I completely missed a massive, obvious crack in the physical sidewalk right in front of me.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I tripped. I stumbled hard. My phone went flying. And I did that, that highly awkward, flailing, run-catch-yourself thing.
The classic stumble and recover.
Yes. And it was in front of at least 5 people who were just peacefully enjoying their breakfast on a patio.
That is beautifully tragic. I love that so much.
It was so embarrassing. I was so panicked about a hypothetical future that I literally face-planted in the present moment.
Wow. Literal faceplant.
I was checking a glowing digital screen instead of checking the actual solid ground under my own 2 feet.
As funny as that is, I cannot judge you even a little bit. I am just as guilty, though, in a slightly different way.
Really? Tell me.
Yeah, so you know how much I love optimizing and organizing things, right?
Oh, I know. You are the absolute master of the schedule.
Well, this past weekend, I realized I had been working way too hard, so I decided we needed a weekend to strictly, quote-unquote, relax.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea.
So what did I do? I opened up my laptop, and I created a minute-by-minute, color-coded spreadsheet for our weekend of relaxation.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
You literally made a corporate spreadsheet for relaxing.
I did. I really did. I scheduled exactly when we would sip tea, exactly when we would read a chapter of a book, and exactly when we would take a leisurely stroll.
Oh my gosh. Haha. That is amazing.
And you can guess what happened, right? It was so incredibly stressful trying to stick to this arbitrary schedule that nobody actually had any fun.
Right, because you're watching the clock.
Exactly. I was so obsessed with perfectly executing the plan for the next hour of relaxation that I completely ruined the current hour. I basically overplanned the fun right out of existence.
We are absolute messes, haha. But honestly, laughing about this is exactly why today's deep dive is so perfect for us and honestly, probably for you listening right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Today, our mission is all about reclaiming your brain from the modern hustle. We are exploring this truly fascinating source called the present moment thief.
Such a good text.
It really is. And the core topic we're diving into is the importance of living in the present moment in a busy world.
It is a phenomenal piece of writing. And, what's so striking is that your story about tripping on the sidewalk and my ridiculous story about the spreadsheet.
The relaxation spreadsheet.
Yeah, the relaxation spreadsheet. They both point to the exact same global phenomenon that this text highlights right from page 1.
So let's get into the mechanics of this. What exactly is that phenomenon?
Well, the author points out that everywhere you look in modern society, people are physically present, but mentally. Mentally, they are completely elsewhere. They use this really great example. So we sit down at a beautiful dinner table with people we deeply care about, right? The food is incredible, the ambiance is perfect, but mentally we are miles away, just aggressively drafting responses to tomorrow's work emails in our heads.
Oh, wow, man.
They're practically phantoms.
It really is like we're time travelers. But we are only traveling in our minds, and for some reason, we only choose to travel to the most stressful parts of tomorrow.
Precisely. We never time travel to the fun stuff. And the source makes a crucial argument here, actually. This constant mental time travel is not just an accident.
Okay, what do you mean?
It's not just a personal failing on your part or my part. The modern world is actually a massive, complex system that is designed to keep our brains permanently trapped in the future.
How so? Mechanically, why does the world want us in the future?
Because the future is where consumerism and productivity happen.
Oh, okay.
right? Everywhere we turn, our culture continuously tells us to work harder, save more money, build bigger plans, optimize our schedules. And we are biologically wired by evolution to scan the horizon for threats. I mean, our ancestors had to worry about where the next meal was coming from.
Sure, that makes sense.
But today, modern hustle culture totally hijacks that biological survival instinct. It tells us that if we aren't planning for tomorrow, we're failing.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It hijacks our survival instinct. You know, reading this source, an analogy popped into my head that really helped me visualize this.
Oh, I'd love to hear it.
Well, it feels like this modern mindset forces us to treat the present moment exactly like a doctor's waiting room.
Oh, a waiting room. I like that. Unpack that for me a little bit.
So think about the last time you were in a waiting room. It's inherently boring.
Very much so.
You don't value the room itself. You're just flipping through an old magazine, tapping your foot, checking your watch, maybe looking at your phone. You have zero interest in the present environment because you were just sitting there anxiously waiting for the future.
Waiting for the doctor to call your name.
Exactly. Waiting for the future to finally call your name. We are literally treating our own actual lives like a boring waiting room for a future that hasn't even arrived yet.
That is a brilliant way to picture it, honestly. You completely devalue today because you think real life begins tomorrow.
Yes.
And the psychological reason why it's so difficult to simply sit still and enjoy today is that our society actively glorifies this constant state of mental motion.
We celebrate people who never stop.
Exactly. And this brings up something that happens to all of us on a daily basis. Because of this pressure, we constantly find ourselves getting incredibly caught up in something.
Yes. To be caught up in something. That phrase resonated so deeply with me when I was reading the source.
It is such a vital concept to understand. When we talk about being caught up in something, we're talking about a state where you are so deeply, so intensely involved in a specific activity or a mental thought loop that you completely lose track of reality.
Right.
Your brain is dedicating so much processing power to this one future-oriented anxiety that it essentially just shuts off your sensory inputs.
It honestly feels like being tangled in a heavy net.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. You are so caught up in the net of your own thoughts, calculating your 5-year plan, that you literally cannot see the sky above you. Or, well, in my case, the crack in the sidewalk below me.
Exactly. And the source asks us to genuinely reflect on this. So if you're listening right now, just take a gentle breath and ask yourself, is your anxiety about your career trajectory or, your stress about a meeting next week, making it totally impossible to just taste and enjoy the warm cup of coffee you might be holding right now?
Are you sitting in that waiting room?
Exactly. Are you in the waiting room?
And the really harsh truth the author drops here is that if you cannot figure out how to enjoy that coffee today because you're stressed about tomorrow, no amount of future wealth or success is magically going to flip a switch and make you happy.
Right. Because once you reach that future goal, your brain...
It just finds a new thing.
Yes. Your brain, which has been trained for years to always look ahead, will just instantly find a new future thing to worry about.
You just stay in the waiting room.
You never leave.
I mean, the waiting room might get nicer furniture, you might have a better magazine to read, but you are still just waiting.
It's so true.
Which honestly transitions us perfectly to the next major insight from the source material.
Let's do it.
We understand why the system traps us into narrow, but we really need to look at the actual damage this does. What is the true cost of this constant, aggressive forward momentum?
And this is where the psychology gets very real. Because living like a mental time traveler carries a very heavy neurological and emotional price.
Yeah, the author uses a classic idiom here that I want to bring up, because they frame it as the exact thing we are failing to do, which is to stop and smell the roses.
Ah, yes.
We hear it all the time, right? But the mechanics of what it actually means are so important.
It is a beautiful idiom. How did you interpret it in the context of this specific text?
Well, because our brains are basically hijacked to treat the present as a waiting room, we fail to intentionally slow down.
Right.
To stop and smell the roses isn't just about literal flowers, obviously. It means taking a deliberate, conscious moment to appreciate the beautiful, ordinary, small things in life right in front of us.
Yeah.
A good conversation with a friend, the physical feeling of the sun on your face, a really good meal. But because our brains are running this constant simulation of tomorrow, we just rush right past the roses on our way to the bank.
We do. We really do. And neurologically speaking, when you stop to smell roses, you are actually forcing your brain to switch gears.
Oh, interesting. How so?
You're moving out of the brain's rumination center, which is the part that causes anxiety, and you're moving into sensory reality. But we just completely ignore that tool.
Okay, but I want to push back on this a little bit.
Okay, go for it.
I want to play devil's advocate here, because when I was reading, a part of me was definitely feeling a little defensive.
I think a lot of people feel that way.
Right. I was thinking, wait a minute. Isn't it absolutely necessary to hustle in the modern world? I mean, if we don't push hard, if we don't plan aggressively, we won't get financial security. Rent is due. Mortgages are expensive.
Right.
We literally cannot afford to just stand around smelling flowers all day.
That is incredibly fair. And honestly, that is the most common and rational pushback to this entire philosophy. We do live in a physical world with real financial demands.
Exactly.
But the source material addresses this tension beautifully by exploring the concept of trade-offs. The author acknowledges that, yes, in our endless race for financial security, we often do achieve our external goals. We get the promotion, we buy the house.
Okay.
But we often achieve these things at the expense of something.
There it is. At the expense of something. That phrase is so heavy when you really think about the reality of it.
It is a profound concept. When you achieve success at the expense of something, it means your victory directly resulted in the severe loss, damage, or sacrifice of another highly valuable thing.
It's the hidden cost.
It's the hidden, often delayed cost of the hustle.
So mechanically, you might secure a massive paycheck, but you do it at the expense of your cardiovascular health because you're running on chronic stress all the time.
Yes.
Or, you get the huge promotion, but at the expense of your marriage because you are literally never mentally present at home.
Exactly. The human body and mind are just not designed to run on the chronic cortisol and adrenaline required to constantly chase the future.
Wow.
You gain the world, but you lose your soul or your health or your family. And the text paints a very vivid, almost frightening picture of what this looks like over the span of an entire lifetime.
Yeah, it really does.
It examines what happens to a person who spends decades choosing to live in the fast lane.
To live in the fast lane, man, that phrase evokes such a specific, intense image.
It really does. When someone chooses to live in the fast lane, they are embracing a lifestyle characterized by extreme speed, constant work, highly competitive environments, intense excitement, and immense crushing pressure.
It's a life where relaxation is literally viewed as a weakness.
Exactly.
It sounds absolutely exhausting. Like, I feel my blood pressure rising just describing it.
I know. And here's the mechanical insight the author provides about this. Living in the fast lane makes you highly productive. Sure, you will generate output.
Right.
But extreme speed does something very dangerous to human perception. Think about a camera lens.
Ooh, I like this. Walk me through it.
So, if you take a camera and you focus the lens on a subject that is a mile down the road,
Okay.
which represents the distant future,
Got it.
what happens to the things that are 2 feet in front of the lens?
Oh, wow. They become completely blurry. Like, you can't make out any of the details. They're totally unrecognizable.
Exactly. When you live in the fast lane, your brain's lens is locked on the distant future. And because of that speed and that intense focus, it strips away your capacity for deep, immediate joy.
It destroys genuine connections.
Yes, because you can't actually see the people right in front of you clearly. Ultimately, the author says, you miss the actual texture of your life.
You miss the texture of your life. Wow.
Yeah.
If everything in the immediate foreground is blurry because you are speeding toward tomorrow, you don't feel the ridges, the bumps, the warmth of a normal Tuesday. It is all just a big, blurry smear of days blending together.
Which is exactly why so many highly successful people reach the end of a decade, look back, and wonder where the time went.
The speed blurred everything together.
Precisely.
Okay, so what does this actually mean for us practically? Because we've diagnosed a pretty severe problem here. Our evolutionary wiring has been hijacked. We're treating life like a waiting room. Our camera lens is focused way too far down the road, and we're sacrificing our health in the fast lane.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. How do we actually escape this modern mental prison?
Well, here is where the deep dive gets really optimistic and honestly very comforting. The source provides immense reassurance. The solution is not extreme.
Okay, good.
You do not need to quit your corporate job. You do not need to sell all your possessions and move to a remote, silent cave in the mountains to fix this.
Haha, phew. Because frankly, I am deeply attached to indoor plumbing and my espresso machine.
Completely agreed. No caves required today.
Good, good.
The author argues that to escape the mental prison of the future, you just need to implement simple, practical, daily routines to ground oneself.
To ground oneself. This feels like the ultimate antidote to everything we've been talking about.
It absolutely is. To ground oneself means to actively, intentionally bring your mental focus back to the physical, undeniable reality of the present moment.
Okay.
By forcing your brain to connect to what is physically real and tangible right now, you interrupt those anxiety loops.
Right.
You literally shift your brain's processing power away from future simulations, which significantly reduces your emotional panic.
So instead of mental time travel, you are forcing a mental reality check.
Yeah.
You are pulling the focus of the camera lens back to the immediate foreground.
Precisely. And the text actually provides 2 highly actionable, very simple routines to help you ground yourself every single day.
Let's hear them. I think we all need to be taking mental notes right now.
Routine number 1 is a deliberate digital detox. But the author is realistic, just for 30 minutes a day.
30 minutes. I could do that.
Right. You do not have to throw your smartphone into the ocean. Just take 30 short minutes, put the phone in a completely different room so you aren't tempted by it, sit by a window, and simply observe the world.
Just observe it.
Yes. The key here is the mindset. You watch the trees or the traffic or the sky, but you do not try to fix it. You do not try to optimize it, and you absolutely do not try to profit from it.
Wow.
You just let the world exist without you having to manage it. This resets your brain's dopamine baseline.
I love that so much. Do not try to profit from it. Just letting things be. What is the second routine?
The second routine is practicing hyper-focused sensory awareness throughout your normal day.
Okay, what does that look like?
This is about breaking the autopilot. It means when you sit down to eat your dinner, stop planning tomorrow's meeting and actually taste the food.
Right.
Notice the specific spices. And when you walk outside, actually feel the solid ground under your feet.
Like actively trying not to trip on a crack in the sidewalk.
Yes, exactly. Feeling the ground under your feet is highly practical, immediate advice for you.
I need that advice.
But chemically, when you focus on a physical sensation like the taste of food or the feeling of the ground, your brain cannot simultaneously panic about a 5-year plan. It forces you into the present second.
That is incredibly powerful. Near the end of the text, there's a specific quote that I absolutely highlighted in bright yellow ink.
Oh, which one?
The author writes, "The future is an illusion, and the past is a memory. The present moment is the only real estate you will ever truly own."
The only real estate you will ever truly own. Wow, let that sink in.
It is stunning. And the author passionately urges us to protect that real estate fiercely. Do not let the modern hustle steal the only real property you actually possess.
That is just a phenomenal takeaway. It really reframes everything.
It really does. Well, my friend, we have covered some truly beautiful and challenging ground today.
We really have.
But before we wrap up, we want to make sure this knowledge really sticks. We want you to walk away remembering these core concepts. So we are going to do a crucial quick review section right now to help you, the listener, lock in the 5 core phrases we explored today.
Excellent idea. Let's recap them one by one. I will give a quick summary of the meaning, and then let's read the exact example sentences straight from our source text to help cement these ideas in your mind.
Perfect. Let's do it. Phrase number 1 was to be caught up in something.
Right. This means being so heavily absorbed or trapped in a thought loop or task that you completely lose track of present reality. And our exact example sentence from the text is, he was so caught up in planning for his retirement that he forgot to enjoy his youth.
Oof, that hits hard. Okay, phrase number 2 was to stop and smell the roses.
This means to intentionally slow down your life to appreciate everyday beauty and small, ordinary pleasures. The example sentence is, we are working too hard. We really need to slow down, stop, and smell the roses sometimes.
We absolutely do. Phrase number 3, at the expense of something.
This describes the trade-off of achieving a specific goal by sacrificing, harming, or losing another highly important aspect of your life. And the example sentence, she achieved massive financial success, but unfortunately at the expense of her health.
Such a vital warning about trade-offs. Phrase number 4, to live in the fast lane.
This describes choosing a lifestyle characterized by extreme speed, competitive work pressure, and zero time for relaxation, which ultimately blurs the texture of life. The example sentence is, After years of living in the fast lane in the big city, he decided to move to a quiet village.
And finally, the antidote, phrase number 5, to ground oneself.
This means using physical sensory awareness to disconnect from future anxieties and firmly return your mind to the peace of the present physical moment. And our final example sentence is, whenever I feel overwhelmed by work stress, walking barefoot in nature helps to ground myself.
I love that visual, walking barefoot in nature. Thank you for walking through that review with me.
Yeah.
Locking those concepts in is so incredibly helpful.
My pleasure. They are powerful psychological tools for navigating this relentlessly busy world.
They really are. And, I want to leave you, the listener, with one final new thought to mull over today as you go about the rest of your week. We talked about that incredible quote, how the present moment is the only real estate you actually own.
Yes.
So I want you to genuinely ask yourself, if the present moment is the only real estate you actually own, what kind of house are you building on it right now with your current thoughts?
Oh, that is a fantastic question to end on.
Are you building a house of constant anxiety and future panic? Or are you building a house of presence and peace? Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today. We had an absolute blast. We laughed at our own mistakes. We explored some amazing psychology, and we truly hope you are walking away feeling a little more grounded. Have a beautiful, deeply present day, everyone. We will see you next time.
Goodbye, everyone. Stay grounded.